Welcome to the Health Conscious Living Podcast.
I'm Dr. Gayle Myers, and this week's episode is a collection from Season 1. As we navigate the current world events, let's remember our incredible resilience, our very essence, the indomitable human spirit. It's our collective superpower. This is an excellent time to use the grounding and golden sun tools to anchor yourself in balance and clarity and stand tall in your radiant light and compassion. Every day, with your thoughts, actions, and interactions, you have the profound choice to uplift or dampen the world around you. As you inspire others, become a beacon for well-being and understanding. As you listen, remember, together, we shape our global story.
Well, Rick, tell us about your healing journey and how you came to writing this book and creating an amazing platform to help positive change on the planet.
When the pandemic hit and quarantine and everything and the whole world shut down, that's where everything changed for me, because I suddenly lost that illusion of control that we all feel we have over, every day. And I was worried. I was worried about how I was going to take care of my family and pay my bills and, all that good stuff. Then I realized that, I said, I've been working on myself for a few years and I know better. I know that I should be grateful for all the things I have. I have a roof over my head. I have a wonderful family and love and health. And so I decided to focus on that instead. And then I just, went into busy mode. And was the birth of I Spark Change and launching my book and just went into working on everything that I'm still working on today.
When you went through those traumas, how did you relate in a way that kept you going? Because you have this timeline of positivity.
When I first started sharing the story, it was like, how do I tell it? Do I start there? Do I start in COVID? It's not in a silo, right? It's not just contained in one moment in time. There's a million moments in your past that make up who you are and how you've gotten to this point. And for me, a big turning point was my wife and I were driving on the freeway and it started to rain. And it was the first time it had rained in a long time. We're driving along and I hit a big puddle, and I lose control and the car starts spinning out of control. And we spin across 4 lanes to the left and we're about to hit the center divider. I'm trying to steer, do whatever I can, and it's fruitless. And then for some unknown reason, we don't hit the center divider and we start spinning back the other way. And we spin back across the 4 lanes. We go off the shoulder. We go up a dirt embankment and we hit a brick wall. And we flip over and we land back on the wheels. Miraculously, we were all completely unharmed. I'm thinking in my arrogance, I'm like, was it really that bad? Like, we're okay, we're okay. And, the car looked awful. And the next day, my father-in-law takes me down to the impound yard to pick up our things from the trunk and everything. And I go into the office and I tell the attendant, I say, hey, I'm here to pick up things from my car outside on the flatbed. He's like, which car? I'm like, oh, it's the black Grand Prix there on the truck. And he looks at me square in the eye and says, that's not your car. And I said, no, that's my car, Black Grand Prix. He's like, no, whoever was driving that is dead or in the hospital. I'm like, no, it's my car. And, I convinced him it's my car. And it really made me think. I went through a period of reflection for a few months where I really changed my perspective on life, reflecting on, how are we saved? And my mom said, oh, your guardian angel protected you. That's why you're alive. And then I'm looking up at that little angel pin, and that's where the idea for my book hit me. Like I had just watched it as a movie. It hit me clear, like I could visualize it all in my head. And I thought, this is really special. This is something that's really special. I should write this down. This would make a great story. I should write this down. And I wrote about a page, and I never did anything with it. But more importantly, I wrote what I titled a to-do list for every day. And these were just 12 bullet points of ways that I wanted to live my life. I wanted to be grateful. I wanted to be present with my family. I wanted to treat others, with kindness. I wanted to not take life for granted, live like it's the last day, my last day, last minute, enjoy every minute, every hour, every day. Going through that period of reflection after the accident, writing that to-do list, that really changed my life because I started to focus more on my family, started to be less selfish, more present, less arrogant. And I think, that journey, it took me really those 20 years to really get to that place to where I could be probably the best version of myself.
Well, it's amazing. I too have been through a near-death experience, and it makes you stop and realize that life is a precious gift and that it can change in any moment. And then what's really important is the love.
Mm-hmm.
We have accomplishments, we have many things that we've done, but when it comes down to it, it's really about the love and the people in our lives. That was my lesson. That was my deep awakening, that an appreciation for life. And I get the PTSD piece of, you've had an accident, you're driving, and there's a healing that has to happen over time. And then you start to live it. And then there's divine timing. That piece in and of itself was a great motivator for all of us to really reassess what we're doing, how we're doing it, and how we're really here. What's the purpose? And for me, listening to your story, I am so fascinated by the indomitable human spirit and how we each have such a special gift and a special mission. So tell us about I Spark Change and Impact Heroes.
Growing it in a couple different ways. So one way is, our social media and our community online to share some positivity, some inspiration, some motivation, different things that are going to help inspire them to be better, right? To spread that positive change. And then the other component, which, I didn't see initially, was the social impact component. Sometime in the past couple of years, I realized that that's the social impact component of it, that it's empowering others to elevate their social impact, because us as individuals, we can spread positive change, we can be positive, we can help influence others to make the world a better place. There's a lot of power in numbers. So, you or I are one individual, but you have an organization that has thousands of individuals. That impact is exponentially greater, right? And the lives that they touch through their work. And so that's why I added the social impact component, that's how they fit within I Spark Change, is to help them see the power of impact and help them see that their work makes a difference in making the world a better place, and that everybody has the responsibility to make the world a better place. So the different components that we have now are, we have our social media, we have our community, we do all that on various platforms. And then I have my work as a coach, working with entrepreneurs, business owners, helping coach them, teaching them how to impact others and be better versions of themselves and help spread positive change. And then the last component would be my speaking or my work that I would do with bigger organizations and the connections and the networking with them to help connect all of us together. And all of the groundwork I've done for the past 2 years is to build our social media platform, which will be the world's first social impact, positive change social media platform that is 100% geared towards connecting and empowering individuals that do good in the world. Our goal by 2026 is to have 1 billion people in that community. And, there's 2.5 billion people in Facebook and 2 billion people on TikTok. That grew to almost 2 billion just in 2020 alone during the pandemic. And so if they can do it, I see no reason why, a platform designed for good can't get to 1 billion, in the next 5 years.
I hope today's episode helped you adopt more tools to implement daily, choose change, look within, see your inner wisdom already exists, and live your optimal health. If this inspires you, I invite you to share this on your favorite social platform, share it with a friend, or just help us spread the importance of health-conscious living. For more health lifestyle tips, check out healthconsciousinc.com, sign up for my email, and follow me at Gayle Myers MD on Instagram.
hit the subscribe button. I'd love for you to give a 5-star review and leave your comments or questions. Until next week, rejoice in the health that you have.